Hello, and welcome back to Let's Chat with Jen and Angie. I'm Angie.
And I'm Jen.
And together we are Heart and Home Legacy Group with Edina Realty. Today we are going to be talking about a really fun topic, and that is the importance of ROI and why ROI matters. And what is ROI, Jen?
Return on investment.
Return on investment. So we get asked a lot of times from people, we want to do some updates to our house, but what is going to be the best return on our investment?
Yeah, you may love your accent wall to be green.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that all the buyers will.
No, that's exactly right. And ROI isn't about making your house an HGTV style. It's about finding things that buyers are going to notice and they're going to be willing to pay more for.
Yeah, so let's talk about top ROI improvements. So,
yes. Number one would be kitchen.
Yeah.
And minor kitchen updates make the most major. So let's talk about what are those minor things that we can do.
Does anyone have any guesses? Super easy. New hardware. Easy.
Yep. If you're looking at your hardware in your kitchen and you think those probably look a little outdated or they're chipping or anything, go find some new hardware. Easy fix. Fresh paint on cabinets. Now, we're not talking about if your cabinets are not already painted or if you have wood cabinets. There's lots of different things you could do to make them look updated, and that would be like waxing them, just a good solid cleaning. But if your cabinets have been painted in the past and they're chipping and looking worn, it's time to get those freshened up.
Just updating the lighting in the kitchen. Bright light, daylight lighting. People really like new, fresh lighting.
Yeah, if you have a pendant light above your sink, that's really outdated. That would be something. If you have a center island that has pretty outdated or starting to not match a lot of the other things in the house, go ahead and find a nice new one and get that swapped out.
Yep.
Another thing is a new faucet. Faucets are so fancy nowadays, and people are fine with having a regular faucet, but don't let it have gross stuff around it.
Yeah, I say this every time we talk about this, a good clean goes a long way. Before you spend the money on buying, spend the money on a good cleaner. Have a good clean team come in and clean that house, top to bottom, because they can get a lot of that gunk off that faucet. They have the chemicals, they have the things they can do to get that clean.
Yeah, but just make sure you focus on that faucet because it's more important than you realize.
Yeah.
And the last but not least for the kitchen would be maybe new countertops if your countertops are aging. So we've gotten into many houses that have beautiful, everything looks great, but the countertops are like chipping. You can see that they're not a solid surface, which it doesn't have to be a solid surface, marble or a granite or anything like that.
But it doesn't relate to return on investment. So it needs to be professionally done. It needs to look good and clean. So if you're thinking about, well, I can do it myself. I can redo my kitchen cabinets myself. I can do my countertop myself. Great. If you are professional and you can do it clean and it looks professionally done, yes, you can do it yourself. But if you can't, buyers notice. And the buyers that we have, they walk in, they want it to look professionally done. They want to come in, they want to move in, and they want to be done.
They can tell if you didn't measure it correctly and then you had to try to piece things together.
And it matters.
It does matter, and it's noticeable right away. And honestly, what it makes everybody think immediately is, oh, they just shortcut everything.
Yes.
And that is probably not even true. You didn't shortcut everything, but in that situation, it just doesn't reflect well.
So either do it all the way or don't do it at all.
Yeah. Number 2 for return on investment is bathrooms, especially the primary and the guest bathrooms. And what are we talking about with bathrooms?
Yeah.
Don't spend a whole ton of money, but we're talking about a new vanity. If your vanity is old and it looks like it was from the 1960s and it's chipped, go get a new vanity.
Yeah. Again, we're going to go back to lighting. New lighting, super reasonable priced and an easy fix.
And another part to that is updating those mirrors. So when she says with the new lighting, there's so many fun things you can do with mirrors nowadays where you can get a framed mirror and then you can get it with the lights. Like There's so many fun
Yeah.
things, and you would be so amazed at how much that will transform your bathroom.
You know, and the other thing is, this is a do-it-yourself that you can do. Recaulk and grout your toilet, your sinks,
Yes,
your
your
the
shower.
backsplash. Yeah.
Yes.
And it cleans it up so nice. Those little things do make a difference.
Yes, and it doesn't take long to do that. So
Right.
bathroom, new vanity, update your lighting, fresh caulk and grout,
Yep.
and updating those mirrors.
Yep.
Bathroom cell houses, nothing screams run away like a 1992 wallpaper and rust stains.
Well,
and that
yeah.
was a quote we had pulled, and it's totally true.
Yep.
So scrub, clean, like she had mentioned. If you have rust stains, if you have them in the sink, if you have them in the tub, make sure that you are getting a good solid clean in those bathrooms too.
I do a lot of buyers, and I can tell you, I can tell within that first 3 seconds when we pull into the driveway if my buyers are going to be excited when they walk in the house or if they already decided this isn't the home, and it is just by what they see by the curb appeal. So what are some of those return on investments for curb appeal?
Yes, curb appeal is huge because it's your first impression of the house.
Yeah.
So when you pull up and things aren't looking fresh and taken care of, even if the inside of the house is fabulous, they're just getting before they are getting really excited. So just make sure it represents and reflects how awesome everything is. So curb appeal comes down to landscaping. We're not talking fancy landscaping. We're just saying landscaping. Trim the bushes if they are overgrown.
Yeah.
Make it look cared for and touched because they just want to know that you have taken good care of it.
As we do this podcast, it's winter here. So as simple as snow plow your driveway, make sure that your sidewalks are shoveled, make sure that you have some evergreens that are sitting out in front of that porch. Make it inviting. Your front door is clean. The fingerprints are off. Again, back to the clean, clean, clean. Everything needs to be clean. We don't want to see fingerprints on the doorknobs, fingerprints on the handles. Just that alone is curb appeal.
Yep. And even doing like the cleaning the glass on the entry door. Yeah. How often people just don't think to clean the glass on their entry door.
I have 2 dogs. Like I think about it every time I go showing homes because I have 2 dogs that sit and wait by the side door. Yeah, so it's all slobbered up. I have a mother-in-law who comes to her house and she will clean that side light door all the time because she sees our dog. It's something that you overlook because you live in your house. So
and then 2 seconds later they won't put those nose prints right back on. I know.
Yeah.
And it's so funny how hard nose prints are to get off. Do they have an oil in their nose that just makes it that much better to scrub? It's hilarious. So yes, winter time, making sure that you're keeping it all clear and safe. But when we don't have snow, another thing that would be helpful is to have fresh mulch. So once the snow melts and everything's starting to look dirty, it always looks dirty before it starts looking fabulous again. But just freshen up the mulch. Yeah. Rake it up, freshen it up. If you've got spots that are balding because it's on a hill or just make it look like it's a good fresh start to spring. Yeah.
And then power wash again. Gosh, I sound like a broken record today, but clean.
Yeah. And a new front door paint. So we've actually had quite a few sellers that did end up repainting their front door. They're the paintable front doors because you would be amazed at as you're living in a house how scuffed up it gets, whether you have kids, dogs, guests. Like it's just, if a door can be repainted and it's going to make it look that much more fabulous, then totally do it. We've had lots of sellers do that. And we've actually even helped them with picking out the color.
Oh, all day.
Yeah. So it's very fun. So buyers make a decision in the first 10 seconds. They won't admit it, but they do. So first 10 seconds, pull it in. First 10 seconds in your house, first impressions are huge. So show it off the best that you can. Yeah. The next item that we're going to talk about is flooring updates. So this is really interesting with flooring updates. It's like we all know that carpet's going out. Like carpet is, if you have old carpet, it needs to get replaced.
I know, and I don't necessarily agree because I still love my carpet. I do, but I am not, I just like to have carpet in some of my rooms, like my bedroom or my family room where we watch TV. but it is not, I am not the norm. So, you know, I'm not
Carpet in
telling you
bedrooms,
today, but
that makes sense. I mean, a lot of people will do carpets in bedrooms,
Yeah.
but it needs to be fresh looking, because if a buyer looks at it and is like, ooh, all they see is your dirt.
they see your dirt,
Yeah,
your
it's not
dog,
their
your
dirt. They don't
dog's
care if it's their
germs,
dirt.
your kid's germs. It really is.
If you have stained old carpet, think about replacing it or get it professionally cleaned so it looks really good.
For sure, for sure.
Another thing that's really important as far as ROI is luxury vinyl planks are very popular. So that's like the new thing that everybody's doing are the vinyl plank flooring, because they are durable. They can be more waterproof. They're easier to clean up after things. You can put them in bathrooms and entryways and family rooms. So if you are looking to do any kind of reflooring, then that vinyl plank, they have some pretty awesome products out there right now. But hardwood floors will always be the biggest ROI. Your return on investment with hardwood floors are always going to surpass any other ones. So let's say that you are in an older home and underneath all that carpet,
It's hardwood floor.
oh man, back in the day they put hardwood floor in everything. And if you can refinish your hardwood floors, you are going to have, according to the National Association of Realtors, if you refinish hardwood floors, your ROI is 147%. So
and it's beautiful.
If you have carpet with wood floor underneath it and you're looking at wanting to do some improvements that are going to make you money, refinish those hardwood floors. And let's say that you're building new construction or you're thinking about remodeling. Installing hardwood floors has a really awesome return on investment too, and that's according to the National Association of Realtors, 118% return on investment. Vinyl plank is going to be less, and it's very popular, and that's great too. But if you're in the market and you can afford to do and install hardwood floors or refinish them, you're going to have a better return on your investment.
Yeah, it doesn't go out of style, or it hasn't in the 30 plus years that I've been in home improvement. Yeah.
I mean, they've had hardwood floors in houses forever and ever, and then we thought it was a good idea to do carpet. Now we're going full circle back.
Yeah.
And another saying that I looked up, old carpet is the silent killer. Pets, kids, spills, buyers imagine it all. So just like Jen and I had said, they don't care that if it was their dirt, they'd be okay with it. But since they're looking at your dirt, it's just as a different.
Just as a yuck factor. Mindset. Let's be real. Yeah. It has a yuck factor.
Because not everybody.
We all know what happens. Let's be real.
It is what it is. It's life. It's just life.
The cheapest and easiest payoff on ROI.
And not even just interior. We're talking exterior too. So
I wonder what the paint of the year is going to be this year. I know, that'll be fun. So, because the year before it was like the gray. This year was more whites. Whites kind of came back in. So I wonder what it will be this year.
That's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, but
it makes a huge impact on the interior feel of a home as well as the exterior feel of a home. And not everybody can paint the exterior of their house, but there might be different aspects of it that you can.
Yeah.
Maybe you have, not plastic or not a vinyl window trim that you can paint and freshen up. No chips, making sure that everything is just looking fresh and clean.
Neutral. It's return on investment is getting people to think about it with their stuff in the home, with their decor, with their lights, with their Christmas, with their holidays. So,
if you have big scuffs on the wall, paint it.
It is daunting, but it is well worth it.
And next, energy efficiency updates. Man, they've come a long way with energy efficiency. I mean, we have thermostats that are smart and telling us things. Yeah. All of the stuff.
The windows are energy efficient.
So new windows is a big thing. If you are in an older home, it's very drafty.
New improved insulation. A lot of homes that we go into with buyers, even those older homes, we've had several showings in those homes that were in like 1915, 1920, and go upstairs, and it would be so nice and warm. Well, they had new windows and they had the new insulation upstairs. I mean, like definitely has changed. Things have gotten
Yeah.
really efficient.
Yes, they have. And programmable thermostats, huge. Adjusting the temperature for while you're there and while you're not there, or if you're gone on vacation, like just having smart things in your house. Next.
Ooh, basement finishing.
When done right. Jen talked about that when we talked about the kitchens, and it goes just for everything else in the house, including the basement.
You know what, Angie? You know what question I've been getting a lot is, do you need to have a permit? Where are all the permits for the basements? So I've been getting a lot of that question lately from my buyers. How do I get a hold of the permits
that were pulled? Because there's part of the property disclosures that the seller has to share if there have been permits pulled for different work done on the home. And so if you have not pulled permits for different work, then what's going to happen is that when the buyer goes to make the buyer's the new owner now goes to make improvements, they're going to have somebody come in professionally, look at it, and proceed forward from there. Because even if you think you're a professional, unless you're an actual electrician, you just shouldn't even be touching any of those things. And it's not because we're trying to make you spend more money or just wanting it to be safe for everybody. Because we had one just like a couple months ago that when you were in the garage, it controlled the lights in the living room.
Yep.
It was the lights in the garage and the lights in the living room. They're on it was all connected.
So if you wanted to turn the lights on, you would have to go out to the garage to turn the lights on in the living room.
So obviously we ended up having that fixed and everything is working wonderfully right now, but that's just a prime example of how that all happens in real life. So in Minnesota, yes, finish your basement. Basements are huge. It adds extra square footage. It adds extra space because we're all indoors. But yes, do it, but do it professionally. If you are doing trim and you are not knowing what you're doing, don't do it.
It looks terrible. These buyers now, I'm telling you, one is they can't do it. They don't want to do it. And they want to move into something that is 100% complete or not complete at all, because they're going to get professionals to come in and do it. So it is not a return on your investment to do it yourself and do it. Can I say half-assed?
But you do not feel that you can do an amazing job, please don't do it. Or understand that the buyer that's going to be buying your house is going to reflect their offer in the quality that they're seeing.
It is not going to be the return on investment.
It's just not.
And we're going to tell you that the truth. We're just going to be honest with you up front, and that's the type of agents we are.
Yes, and we're not trying to rain on your parade because we think that you're awesome and we love that you're motivated to do all of these things. Yes. But just please understand, you can't half-ass things.
Hey, we talked about all the things that you should do. Mm-hmm. What are the overrated things?
Oh,
what are some of the things that just what are you just not gonna get?
A luxury kitchen remodel.
So we're talking like $75,000.
Yep.
Kitchen.
And rarely do you get any return on your investment. Appliances, yes. If you need new appliances, get new appliances, but it does not have to be the fancy Viking yada yada yada. That because the buyer's not gonna pay extra because you have a fancy stove. Yeah. But they'll love if you have and they'll love if you have like special different accents and niche. Like, okay, so we just had a house sell that had a kitchen remodel. And they did amazing. And the thing that they did amazing at is they used every little crevice and corner for storage or for like usable things. That was awesome. That was really but they fun. Did not need to have all kinds of fancy new stuff.
The house was so cute.
Yeah.
The home systems.
The high-end smart home systems. Yes, we had one of those recently too. And our seller, bless his heart, was like, he loved it. And it was so smart. But it was the buyer that bought the house is not going to use any of the smart things except the thermostat, realistically.
Yeah, they liked it, but they just
They didn't
like,
pay more for it.
no.
It was very overwhelming, and at the end of it, he just wanted to make sure he had thermostat so he could manage that part.
This
So,
one is up for debate. So we have had some who think that this is return on investment and some who don't. Swimming pools.
ooh, the
So
next
what-
one, yes, the swimming
Swimming pools.
pools.
Is it or
Oh,
isn't it? And
yeah.
we've had a pool, we've had one home where they had a pool, and we just
You had to find the right buyer
Yeah.
because not every buyer wants to have a pool, especially if that pool takes up the whole backyard. Yeah, swimming pools, depending on the region, is pretty risky. And I mean, honestly, depending on your region, at most you're going to get is your 7% return on investment, and that's just. And that's not even counting the fact that you're going to eliminate buyers that aren't even going to look at it. If you're going to do a pool, I would do more of like the above ground, something that you can remove if needed. Or, I mean, at the end of the day, a pool is in there because you want to enjoy it.
And if you want
And
to
if
enjoy
you
it,
enjoy it, then
yeah.
absolutely 100%. But just know that if you put $30,000 into your pool thinking you're going to get $30,000 back for said pool, you're not.
No.
You're just, it's not going to happen. Last is very custom built-ins and niches. So what are we talking about? We're talking about custom things that make it so that they can't utilize that space instead of it. Okay, so like let's put in a built-in bar.
Sauna.
Maybe it's, yes, or even built-ins on both sides of the fireplace. Like not everybody wants to have bookshelves on both sides of their fireplaces. So when you're putting in those kind of things, just be very mindful that that might not be something that everybody wants to do. Spending wisely. The goal is to appeal to many buyers, not create your dream castle. Unless you plan to stay in your dream castle for a really long time, then do with it what you want.
Yeah, so if we're going into a home and they're going to put it on the market fast and they want our opinions, we walk around the house and we're saying, okay, here's what you need to do for return on investment quick.
Yes, so small budget with big ROI.
Yeah. So obviously new lighting fixtures, I've said it in almost every room, we will look at the lighting fixture and say, okay, keep, replace.
Updated house numbers. That was kind of a fun one. And what's cool is that a lot of house numbers nowadays will be in the stonework, but if it's not,
Yeah.
it is so cool to change them up. It freshens
it
makes everything look better on the outside.
New faucets, which we already said, but in kitchens, in bathrooms, even in your laundry room, because they get crusty and old.
Placing old blinds. Even in this office, we have these old blinds. Honestly, then just take your blinds down and put up some curtains, because people don't like, especially those pull down blinds that go up and down.
Yep.
They just don't want them.
No, it's just, and even just taking them down and don't put them back up.
Yep.
And then last, adding storage and organization. So in your basement that's empty, taking your storage out and putting up new storage. People will not buy a house because they feel like it doesn't have storage.
Enough storage.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And even for like in your kitchen and your pantry,
Yep.
or organization in your
Yep.
linen closets, in your under the bathroom sink. Just adding organization and storage.
And even I would even say, again, it goes back to the cleaning. We'll say, take everything out. If something is on the floor in your closet, take it out and keep it empty. You don't want anything on the ground in your closets.
Yes.
You want to give that impression of space. Yeah.
So our advice to sellers is always ask a real estate professional before starting to do things. If you are thinking about doing stuff and you have questions, reach out, email us. We have got our communication is in the lower portion of this.
Yeah, please. We love doing it. We enjoy it. And it's our niche. It's our thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. And one other thing that we want to make sure that we mention before we're done here is that we can help you find a house. Like, let's say you're not in Minnesota and you are someplace else. Let's say that you're in the military. We do this a lot. And you are looking to move. We can help you find a real estate agent. Don't feel like you are having to be out to the realm of luck to find one. We can find out more from you, what you're looking for in an agent, where you're going, price, like all of the things, and then we will do the research for you.
We got your back, Jack.
Yes. All right. Well, big takeaway. The key is simple. Focus on updates that buyers immediately see and value. We've got somebody at the door. So we hope that you found this helpful, and don't forget,
Stay grateful.
stay grounded and keep
building that legacy. Bye.